Ha, just kidding. Welcome back. It is December 3rd, 2025, and it is our 150th show here at Inverted World Live. Welcome back, all of my children of the night. It is great to see you. Thank you first and foremost to the ever fabulous Alex Ayala for covering my dead corpse last night, as I was absolutely destroyed from several days at the Pentagon. But tonight, I am your host, producer, and official Pentagon press correspondent, Brandon Miner. Welcome back. It's great to see you. It is time to get weird. And it was one of those things where we were there all day today. And obviously I am still in my Pentagon fatigues. But we have much to talk about. The show almost didn't happen tonight, but I did not want to let you guys down for another night. But Shane had to step down today for some personal reasons. I believe he should be back tomorrow. But it is just me and you guys tonight, and I am okay with that because I got some shit to talk about. First and foremost, we did see some interesting news today about NASA discovering on an asteroid that was brought back what looks to be bioessential sugars. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here really quick. We may do a slightly shorter show tonight, just on the fact that I am still completely dead. And but I am going to try to take some calls from you guys. If anything, we'll see how the night goes. But let's get into this. The discovery of ribose and glucose in asteroid Bennu samples by NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission is a significant step forward in understanding the origins of life on Earth. Ribose, for those who don't know, is a crucial building block of RNA, while glucose is an energy-rich sugar used by nearly all life forms on Earth. These sugars suggest that the basic chemical ingredients needed for biology were common throughout the early solar system, which if you ask Shane, he says it's only about 6,000 years or so. These sugars suggest, we just did that. The presence of ribose, but not deoxyribose, supports the RNA world hypothesis, which posits that early life relied on RNA for survival before evolving into DNA and proteins. The findings also include a mysterious space gum that could have played a foundational role in catalyzing early life on Earth. So let's jump in. There is a short video here. Well, it's kind of long, but I'm only going to play the beginning here as he talks about how they kind of broke this down. But the story here is that this rock, this space rock, had a bunch of basically primordial soup on it. Now, it doesn't suggest that life did exist beforehand or elsewhere, but it does suggest that everything was there for life to exist. So whether or not it evolved from that point anywhere else in the solar system is still a mystery, but this does show that the possibility for life elsewhere in the solar system was possible. Whether or not it came from Earth before coming back to Earth is another question, obviously, that we have. And whether or not it came from another planet, possibly sustaining or supporting the possibility of life elsewhere in the solar system is also another question that I have. But let's check out a little bit here of this video and see how they did this.
So our team, which included an international group of scientists led by our colleagues in Japan at Tohoku University, discovered evidence for bioessential sugars, sugar molecules essential for life, in the samples returned from asteroid Bennu. We actually found 6 different sugars, including 2, ribose and glucose, that are fundamental for life as we know it. The reason that this discovery of ribose and glucose is so exciting is ribose is actually a fundamental component of nucleic acids. It forms the sugar phosphate backbone of RNA. Glucose is an important source of energy for all living organisms. And this is the first discovery of glucose in any astromaterial. So this is truly exciting, a very big surprise. We weren't expecting to find this in the Bennu samples. So in order to detect these sugars essential for life, we actually had to take some of the Bennu chips and crush them up. We made a powder, kind of like making flour.
Or cocaine.
We used about 600 milligrams, so a fair amount of sample. And then we basically extracted it in water at cool temperatures, kind of like making a cold brew, a cold
Or bubble hash.
tea. And then extracted those sugars into that water. Then we analyzed the water by a technique called gas chromatography mass spectrometry, kind of a mouthful, but basically it allows you to separate the individual sugars and measure them and identify them by their masses.
Also known as making extracts.
This discovery of these bioessential sugars was led by our colleagues in Japan on the OSIRIS-REx mission from Tohoku University, Hokkaido University, and JAMSTEC. We helped them at NASA crush the samples to provide them with the powder where they did the extractions in Japan and were able to detect these sugars, including ribose and glucose, using these gas chromatography mass spectrometry techniques. So this is really exciting. This is truly a joint effort to make these really important discoveries. And I'm proud to say that this is really an international team that made this happen.
All that included, it's a good thing they weren't doing this on a boat in the South Pacific. Otherwise, it is entirely possible they would have been hit with a kinetic strike. All jokes aside here, this is the interesting topic that I wanted to cover. And let me know what you guys think in chat. I'll be peeking at them in just a second. And I'm going to get the links out there in just a minute to get to some calls. But first, I want to tell you guys about the Pentagon and the things that took place there in the last couple of days. So as of Tuesday, new media there kind of made its presence known to the world. And the internet instantly lit up with the most negative backlash I have seen in a long time. Now, I'm going to show you guys a quick picture here of the new Pentagon press corps. This photograph was taken today after a short talk with Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War. And you will notice here, we skip to this. You kind of see me hiding in the background next to that handsome bastard known as Kellen Leeson. You can totally see the hat. I can't get the zoom in any further. But we had a pretty amazing couple of days there. We got a lot achieved. And I got an interview today with Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson at the Pentagon. And I finally got to ask somebody about UAPs. So I'm going to play just that short clip for you guys here really quick. But is this administration plan on taking UAP and UFO sightings more seriously? Are you guys able to kind of commit that personnel to being transparent to these sightings and being able to report these openly? Do you think, on top of that, that it will be met with kind of the stigma of old days, or kind of met with a more realistic and important approach?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, thanks to the advent of social media, people are able to see a lot more of this stuff for themselves and to ask questions. And we welcome that as a department. We are committed to transparency. That's been kind of the theme of this whole week. So we definitely are going to ensure that as much information we can give as possible is going to be given to the American public, so that they can feel safe. They can know that we've got the skies, we've got the seas, and we're securing our borders as well. So top to bottom, we're going to make sure we're transparent as a department. Of course, we've got national security concerns to worry about as well.
Right.
Unlike other agencies, right, we have that to plan for. But at the end of the day, as much information as we can give to you all and you all can disseminate to the public, we're committed to that.
Absolutely. I love that answer. Thank you so much for your time. Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson, Brandon Miner, Timcast Media, live from the Pentagon. Hey, we did it. I told you guys right off the bat, The idea that I had behind trying to obtain these credentials was so that I could get in there and start asking questions to try to find some truth for you and the rest of the American public. And also for myself, because I'm curious about these things. Now, I want it to be known, even though I know that everybody out there already knows, I am just a dude, just a man, just a guy from Chicago. I have absolutely less right than anyone else probably to be in that building, which I'm sure other people would debate. But I have found a way to obtain credentials and get into the Pentagon as a press correspondent, thanks to old media completely fucking screwing the pooch, which I'm grateful to you guys for. Thank you so much for sucking so bad that they are now allowing actual American people to go in and ask questions to find the truth. You guys did this to yourselves. And while we are going to be scrutinized very heavily for what we are doing and for the news outlets that we are going to be disrespected left and right. And I don't give a fuck, because this was the idea all along. To get in, we needed new blood. We needed these old fucking cucks out of here. Gone. Goodbye. Seriously, we don't miss you. Stay home. Keep talking shit on Twitter. No one cares except for you. And that is going to bring me to the next idea that I had while at the Pentagon. Now, we had just a little bit of downtime today, just a tad. And I was hanging out with a couple of guys, and one of them was Lance Johnson, goes by Lance Videos. Super cool dude. And he was catching shit, kind of like I eventually was, for wearing a suit with tennis shoes. And they were ripping on his shoes. Somebody saw, he shook hands with Pete Hegseth, as did I. And somebody clipped the picture of his Air Force Ones, which were only mildly beat to shit. But he's a younger dude, completely acceptable in my opinion. Obviously, you guys know I rock very similar styles. I wore the White Sox hat the entire time through all of these interviews because you guys know, almost like Tim, I don't take the hat off for anybody. And when I do, it's very, very serious or just to go to sleep. I don't sleep with the hat on. I know some of you are worried about that. And I said, hey, Lance, we got a couple of minutes. You really want to piss off the public right now? Because I've got a great idea to do so. And I'm going to show you guys that right now. I decided that we were going to take a picture together wearing our basketball sneakers and suits and me wearing this hat. And we were going to post it. And I'm going to show you that picture right now because it has the internet in an uproar. People are pissed about this one stupid little picture. And I knew it was going to happen. And all it does is warm my heart as this is now going viral on Twitter. Here it is. Me and Lance hanging out. I'm sporting some ankle and a low pair of socks and the 6-ring Jordans along with the black hat. There he is in the Nikes. And he posted this and I go, give it a few minutes and watch what happens. This was the result of that. Oh my God, it's heartbreaking. I can't believe, why? Who let these 20-something-year-olds wear shoes with a suit in the Pentagon? What a fucking disgrace. You know what? I have to give it up to these people. I have to give it up to these people because the raw hatred that I have felt has warmed my ever still heart. My dying, decrepit, rotting heart has been brought back to life by the amount of hate that this received just in the last few hours. And the post is up on X if you guys want to see. I have tracked what appears to be a good 500,000 views on this. Thousands of comments, every single one of them absolutely hate-filled, which I can take you guys down some of that here while we're looking. But this was picked up and retweeted by other people who were just as mad with massive followings, and now all of their people are hating on it too. And all the while, me and Lance are texting each other like, dude, bro, I can't believe this shit. It was so easy to troll the previous establishment that I can't even believe it. It took all of 3 seconds to come up with this. I knew that people were going to talk shit and absolutely lose their minds, and I couldn't be prouder of the negative feedback that we are receiving for this. It really, I can't say enough, it warms my heart. Now, the one thing I do want to credit these people for is that they all think that I am in my 20s. Thank you so much. I am, as most of you know, 39, almost 40 years old. I will be 40 next year. And it makes me feel so great that these people think that I am young enough to put a roofie in your drink at a college party. Really, really, absolutely just astounding. Makes me so happy. The shit talk has been tremendous. And I'll run you down just a quick scroll of what this looks like here. Sorry, Ghost Shane is not here. It is just endless hate. People telling me that my mother dresses me. People laughing, going nuts. This is how far the U.S. has fallen. Atrocious shoe choices. Is this some kind of joke? Get a load of this cunt. I mean, it is. People have lost their fucking minds. Look at this. They've even gotten AI involved. It's unbelievable. And I can't thank you guys enough because you just proved to me en masse how absolutely fucking susceptible and triggered you people still are. And congrats, bitches, because now it's us in the Pentagon. It is us because you decided to defer and walk away because all you guys wanted to do was stalk these people and try to get them to slip up and reveal confidential information without asking real questions for the American public. You lost sight of that a long time ago, and all you people wanted to do was spin your fucking narratives for your network, and this is what the result is. So I am happy to watch you all cry into your fucking pillows for the next, hopefully, a couple of years. Now, it is entirely possible that this doesn't last forever. They do want to keep this going, which we are excited to be there and do, and we will keep doing what we have been invited there to do, and that is to try to get the truth out to the American people. So I will, me, personally, Brando Inverted, will endeavor to try to get as much truth as I can as it pertains to UAPs, drones, stuff that we talk about on this show. While still, I might have to dabble in politics just a little bit because of where we're at. But my goal was to get in there and to just ask questions, and I got to do that today, so let's fucking go. Thank you all so much for the reach outs, for the support, for everybody, and the great feedback that I have received. And yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to ride this fucking horse. So victory for us. All right. So with that being said, I really just needed to get that off of my chest. I thought it was great, and I am exhilarated now to see what you guys have to say about this. So I'm gonna throw the link out here, and I'm gonna take some calls from you guys. We could talk about whatever the hell you want. We could talk about cryptids. We could talk about UAPs. We could talk about the Pentagon. Let's refrain from talking about Candace Owens, because I feel like this is just, it's getting beat with a dead horse. Although, like a dead horse, but the saga does continue with the Candace Owens thing. So I am kind of following that. That shit is crazy. But I digress. Let me get the links out there. Go ahead and check chats. I'm going to get them pinned in there now. It is up on Rumble. It is out there on YouTube. Feel free to jump in. I will talk to as many of you as I can before passing out on my keyboard tonight. Let's check chats right now. Sup, how do I call in? That is Raymond Stanley Jr. Good old Raymond. Raymond, there is a link now pinned at the top of the chat. If you just go ahead and click that bad boy, it'll put you into the Zoom meeting. You might have to download Zoom if you have not done it before. But come on in, man. I'll talk to you for a little bit. And you're not getting anything worthwhile done there, Brando. Yeah, no shit. I haven't really had a chance to yet. And most of the interviews I did today actually weren't even supposed to be my interviews. Elad was supposed to cover a lot of these, but I ended up stepping in and became a journalist, apparently, at somewhere around 11 or 12 o'clock this afternoon. So this was not the original plan. This was kind of me just jumping in and pinch hitting, and we got it done. We got it done. Let's see what else we got here. Stay Space says, glad to be here with you, Brandon. You're doing a great solo show tonight. Folks are asking how to call in. Once again, those links are now pinned at the top of the chats in both YouTube and Rumble. Pop on in, say what's up. We are going to talk to you guys for a little bit here. And let me check over. Let's see what's going on Rumble really quick. Fuck Candace, she's a fucking loser. Thank you, Fuck Your Feelings, for the comment. Need your head size, Brandon. Black Peaky Blinder hat with white embroidery, Boston socks. 7 3/8, I believe, is what usually generally fits my head. Stacey McGregory says, hi, Brandon. Still looking handsome. Thank you so much. I am trying. Apparently, I look like I am in my 20s. Let's go. I'm going to throw the fucking... the sunglasses wearing pooch out there bobbing the head. I love that. Let me catch up here on this really quick. Stay Space says the drunk raccoon was way more interesting than anything to do with Candon's Owens. Yeah, it's crazy, the drunken raccoon thing. If anybody was watching IRL, they actually led with this tonight because this was unfortunately one of the biggest, if not the biggest story in the country right now, which also just goes to show how bored we are. But a raccoon apparently got sloshed in a Virginia liquor store and passed out on the bathroom. Now, I did have to explain to someone earlier who asked why the bathroom. And to all my party animals out there, I'm sure you know the answer to that question. There is nothing colder and more comfortable when you are drunk and feeling sick than the bathroom floor. I know this from experience, from way back in my party days. And it's insanely close to the toilet just in case you need to puke again. So I think the raccoon had some very, very realistic expectations of the way that his night was going and decided this is good. I'm going to stay here. Pickbull says, enjoy your youthful look while you can. Brandon, no bullshit. I am doing that. I honestly am happy to not have like any wrinkles or anything like that going on. I think it's truly, truly amazing that I'm not even really sprouting gray hair at all. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Hasha70 says, my mother saw a drone in daylight, and she said it looked like a blue snowmobile that someone had adapted to fly. Windows were tinted, but it was definitely made to be manned. Yeah, there is a lot more of that going on these days. And that's one of the other things that I want to get into with questioning at the Pentagon is this drone situation that's been going on. Obviously, with the increase in drone usage, both in America and overseas, these arsenals are now growing. And from what I saw today, I have to kind of fact check myself here on the number, but I believe the Department of War has ordered a company to produce, I want to say somewhere in the vicinity of like 300,000 drones. Give me a second. Let me pull this up here. And see if I can catch the validity of this. 30,000 drones. Sorry, 30,000. There was an extra zero in there. Sorry, my math sucks. I quit high school. The U.S. Department of Defense has ordered 30,000 drones as part of the Drone Dominance Program. That's right, the DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, Drone Dominance Program. This initiative aims to rapidly deploy these drones to U.S. military service members with the goal of having them in the field by 2028. Program is part of a broader effort to enhance the U.S. military's drone capabilities and reduce cost while increasing the number of drones available for combat units. The procurement process involves a series of gauntlet challenges where vendors demonstrate their drone systems and the highest scoring products are selected for orders. The program is expected to strengthen the U.S. drone manufacturing base and improve the military's ability to field large quantities of capable attack drones. So, that is what war is looking like now. And obviously we've seen that a lot with Russia and Ukraine. Drones are becoming the way to kill enemies. They are cost effective. They are highly lethal, and they're hard to shoot down unless you're real good at it. I'm honestly, I feel like I'm worried about drone attacks more than I'm worried about robot attacks. But that is also coming, as I saw something else recently, that China is now working on drones as part of military deployments, which we knew was coming. Let me see if I can pull this up really quick for you guys. That is military. China is advancing its military capabilities with the development of Wolf robots, which are designed for combat and logistical support, showcasing a significant shift towards autonomous warfare. These are the things that I told you guys and have been telling you guys for a long time that are coming. Wars are going to start being fought by robots. And if you're a person and you're involved and you don't have a way of taking these things out, they are going to slaughter people in droves, I believe, unless taken out themselves. So this is the start of Terminator. It really is. This is the start of Terminator, and it's only a matter of time before all other nations follow suit if they haven't already. It's going to be like Iron Man when they're showing everybody building the drones and everybody else sucks, but Tony Stark is the only one that has a working model. That, I think, is what's basically going on in the background right now. So, all right, without further ado, let's get on the phones. Thank you guys so much for the chats. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out. Everybody on Rumble, everybody on YouTube, if you came over from IRL, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. On our 150th show. And let's get on the phones. I want to go to 7 iPhone 2. 7, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, welcome to the program. How you doing?
Good.
What's going on?
Go ahead.
What's going on tonight?
I just wanted to touch in on some things that I've been noticing. A big fan of the show.
Thank you.
And I'm noticing some like signal. You know, I watch a lot of media. Recently, I've been hearing this word being called out, like a code word, like a I don't know, what you would say a good dog whistle. This word trifecta is being shouted out by everyone. Michelle Obama.
In terms of like what? Like are like just people on the internet or, you know,
yeah.
officials,
People on
like
the
that?
internet.
Okay.
People on the internet, but people that I've been wishing that they would just go away. They're still around. They won't go away. Michelle Obama, this guy, he just emerged again. The old from the Obama administration. What's his name? All of these people, Mondami, they all, whenever they do an interview, they call out this word, trifecta. And I'm noticing this pattern. I just wanted to see if anyone else noticed this word popping up in everyone's language.
Yeah, and trifecta actually comes from it's almost like a dynasty being like 6 wins in sports betting and things like that, or in sports. Combination
Eric
set
Holder.
of 3 wins.
Eric Holder
is who you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, everyone. They're all saying the same word.
What do you think they're referring to?
I don't know, man. But I'm just noticing patterns.
Let's see.
They're all saying the same word in recent interviews. But anyway, on top of all of that, I'm really interested in that you had a caller last night. He was talking about what happens when people go to sleep and they start dreaming.
Okay.
I had an interesting story. I had a friend. This guy, he's like I was messing around making music for many years, producing beats and stuff. This guy named Blast got a hold of like one of my CDs that I was passing around to people, and this is like an experience that happened many years ago. But I had this CD of these beats that I was like giving to people. And I had a dream one night that I was having a conversation with this kid. And it was a very intense, involved conversation. Woke up the next day, went to work, and I got a call from a good friend of mine who was like, "Hey, um, my friend Blast, he got a hold on your recording, and he listened to it, and he just did 45 minutes of recordings over your beats." And that was like the next day. And so I was like, it was like a strange experience. I felt like I was talking to the kid, you know?
So wait, he basically took some of your music and put his own over it? Is that what I'm understanding?
Uh, Vocals.
Vocals.
Yeah.
So you, and let me just make sure I'm straight here. So you had the vocals laid down and he put music over it, or was it vice
No.
versa?
I do the beats. I
Okay.
do the beats. He did the vocals.
Okay.
So I had a dream that I was talking to this kid. The next day, I get a call at work, and they said, "This kid did 45 minutes of vocals over your music."
That was one track?
No, it was like an hour long mixtape of beats that I had
Okay.
just come up with.
I was gonna say that's a long track, man, but yeah, that if that's yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a track. It's actually a mixtape. A mixtape.
Okay.
Yeah, so it ended up turning into a mixtape.
Okay. So this guy just threw in 45 minutes of vocals. You were able to listen to this stuff back, or did you hear?
Oh
any of
yeah, it actually came out so good that I did an album cover and we reproduced it and handed it out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
it came out really good.
did you got in contact with this guy then? Obviously.
Yeah, but I'd never met him before the dream.
Okay. So you think that this dream kind of came to fruition then? Is that what I'm understanding?
Somehow, something. I was talking to him.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I met him. I was working at an art supply store, so that's the only time I ever got to meet him. But other than that, that's the only like main contact and communication I've ever had with the kid.
Interesting. So you had did you met him prior to this encounter, or this you didn't meet him until after the dream?
After the dream.
Interesting.
After the dream, I bumped into him at the art. He my friend introduced me to him, and he was like, "This is Blast. He's the kid that did the recordings on your music," and it happened afterward, but it was a spontaneous thing that just happened, and it was I just found it interesting that the whole thing started as an encounter. I don't know. It was a very strange. The whole experience was very, I don't know. Once I heard the stories, the caller call in about the contacting or whatever it is, communicating with other people, that triggered that memory. But this is 100% real.
And this was how long ago?
I'd say 2003.
Oh wow. Okay. So a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what do you in your mind kind of what do you attribute this to? Do you think that this would like is this you think this was like a religious thing? Was this just premonition, deja vu, kind of in reverse, anything like that?
I think that just it's a place that like a channel that people tune into.
Interesting. So you think you tapped into?
Yeah, I think it's like a channel, like a radio station that people can tap in.
That's interesting because that brings that kind of breeds a theory that almost like another dimension that there is a stream or another consciousness that's taking place beyond the one that we are currently experiencing.
Yeah,
and,
100%. I think like music, whatever. It's one of those. There's different levels where people tap in with each other, and this was one of those moments.
Interesting. Did you ever have anything like this happen before that or after it?
Mm, yes, many, but I think that it's too many for me to go into one call. But what I can say, maybe for maybe for another time.
Sure.
My father, his nickname is Brujo. That name, that word means like a witch, like a male witch or warlock. He has premonitions, so he can see whatever he sees in his dreams comes true. So he has had very vivid premonitions, and they have come true. So I can tell you about those types of things, like in maybe another time.
Sure. Yeah. Just to expand on that a little bit, do you think that then this is something that runs like in your family? Was he like into any
Yes, absolutely. I think it
religious
definitely
or?
runs in the family. He had a dream. He had a very how do you say, serious like dream interpretation phase. He was into Edgar Casey. Um, Stuff that he was dreaming about literally would start happening. It should like it was literally 100% real.
Was he into anything like any weird shit like voodoo or practicing any
Mm,
kind of weird religions or anything like that?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, he was scared of the church and priests because he saw like the preachers run off with the neighborhood, you know, the girls in the neighborhood. So he was never, that religious.
Interesting. So, and I mean, does it go beyond your bloodline at all, or did this kind of you think this
Uh,
started with your father and just kind of passed down to
mm,
you?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I know of. Not that I know of, but I do notice I notice patterns, you know, and this is just one of those things that pops up, uh, and it always happens during a dream phase.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I definitely would be down to hear more of this in the future of these experiences because it sounds like you've had a few. Um, the only other
Oh
question I
yeah.
really have is how frequently do you have these? Are these patterns stretching out over a span of years, weeks, months, anything like that that's noticeable?
No, they just pop up. I'm just noticing. Uh, noticing patterns. Um, because I just check out media, but I tune it out. You know what I mean? For just for balance. You know, I don't think I think consuming so much like television, media, and news, you know, at the intensity of like, like it's just, you know what I mean? It's totally unnatural. What the last 24 years, what like a normal American has gone through. Um, I don't think it's normal for any human, you know, if you think about it.
Or you think it goes beyond humanity then to something greater?
Yeah, I think we're being tested.
It's an interesting theory. Well, hey man, feel free to call us back. I'm sure Shane would love to probably hear about some of this stuff too. I'm sure he's got more
Yeah,
questions
and
for you
tell
too.
Shane, thank you for the recommendation of the band. Um, don't tell me how to do my job. And it's an awesome band from Rhode Island.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
I gotta check that out too. I've never actually heard of those guys, but Shane's got pretty decent
yeah,
taste in music.
daughters.
Cool.
Yeah, it's facts.
Well, tell me how to do my job. I have notated that, and I am gonna check that out.
Yeah, don't tell me how to do my job. And tell Shane, shout out to Shane, and big fan of the show. And yeah,
Uh,
until the next one.
appreciate you, man. You have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir.
Take care. All right. So, interesting call. Uh, shout out to Shane. Uh, maybe he's watching the show. Maybe he's not. I don't know. He's probably sleeping at this point. But again, Shane is not here tonight. The only reason I am wearing a suit is because I have been at the Pentagon for like 3 days. I think I have put in probably, what are we at, Wednesday now, going into Thursday almost? Yeah, I probably put in a good 50 hours already this week between Washington and coming back here to do this. Obviously, I wasn't here last night, but I did try to come in and hang out with you guys for like an hour or so before my eyes fell out of my head from fatigue. But let's keep on rolling. We got some more people in here to talk to. I want to bring on, let's get Kyle in here next. Kyle, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Congratulations on the upgrade.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. What's going on tonight?
Not much. Just wanted to call in and say hi. I don't know. I was just thinking today. You talking about the guy talking about trifecta. Codes in the hospital tend to come in threes: cardiac arrests or whatever. Because I've worked in the hospitals for 20 years, and it kind of seemed to be a repeating factor. I don't know if that's something that like he was referring to or not, but no, I just wanted to call and congratulate you. It's nice to see that finally normal people are going to get to go up there and hopefully find out some truth instead of all the liars. And don't let the haters get you down, because there's going to always be haters, man.
Oh, no, it's the exact opposite. They are what gets me out of that queen bed in the morning, honestly. Don't get me wrong. I love the love, too. You guys are great. All of our fans, everybody in chat hangs out every night. I've gotten a lot of support from everybody out there. And unfortunately, it seems like there is more hate out there than love all of the time. But I do think that it's hilarious that people can be triggered on a level where they don't even investigate the information before they go out and talk shit publicly about it. And unfortunately, that is in the number of thousands of people here in just about 5 or 6 hours, as opposed to just the several hundred that are supportive and want to see the American people get some answers and are rooting for the average American guy who is just a taxpayer, just a single dude working jobs, trying to make something better for himself and for the people around him. And that is what I'm trying to do. So I really appreciate the love there, man. It's very, very rewarding already, what I've heard from some people. So thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And props to you. I was thinking today, I was having to fix something. If you look at our country, and I'm not being negative or anything, but it's like the patient's sick. There's the Candace Owens thing. Everybody's losing their mind over it. The drones, the all the hate going around. The patient is sick, and the patient is our country. And I don't know how we're going to fix it. But until we start with the truth, I don't care if it's with Epstein or whatever's going on, it's going to be sick. And at some point, we're going to reach some kind of critical mass. And I hope it's not the Civil War thing. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants problems. But it's really come to light with this whole, and I don't want to talk about it long, but the whole Candace thing, that is the strangest. I don't believe the government narrative. I don't believe what they told us is the truth. I'm not saying that. I don't believe her. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what we don't know. But everybody, when the most popular thing now is a drunk raccoon, that tells you a whole lot about what's going on.
Well, one thing I was talking about with Kellen here before the show is that it seems like, at least in a sense of politics, that people are just kind of fucking politicked out at this point. And while everyone is still following, what's going on, day to day, there's just so much hate and drama and disaster and fighting and shit blowing up and people dying and just nonstop this tug of war of violence. And then on the other side of that, there is the lighter side that people want to turn to be distracted from these things. And I think while it sucks that some of this stuff is absolutely insane that we're all turning our attention to like this, I do feel it is the natural kind of course of the human mind to take anything it can as kind of momentary relief when it's stressed out or triggered by just these optics, these illusions of war and just the terrible shit that's being pumped into the media constantly that is just now being shoved down our throats every day through social media. And it's almost like you can't avert your eyes from it, but we are able to look at other things. And in my opinion, sometimes the best thing you can do is just shut all the shit off, throw your phone in the corner. You know, if you got a weekend to yourself, take it, you know, go do something, get the hell out of the house, you know, because this stuff really does take a toll on you. I know I felt it during COVID. A lot of people felt it during pandemic. It just was tumultuous, just chaotic times. And I could feel the anxiety that other people were having just through watching what was going on. And I think there's still a lot of that going on today, but I do believe people are getting tired. And I think the politics and the war and all this gritty shit that's out there has got a lot to do with it.
Well, and it's not good for the American psyche. It's not good for our mental health. Our mental health in this country is already, look at all the self-medicating going on. I don't care if it's alcohol, legal, methamphetamine's illegal, pot, whatever your drug of choice is. People are self-medicating, trying to become numb to the constant, what I call psychic inundating of the 24-hour news cycle, just to keep you riled up and keep your emotions heightened. It's really sick. It's really sick. There's not a lot of just regular escape like in the 90s, the 80s. You had your sitcoms at night. Then you had the news after that. Now it's just constant. And I think it's making our mental capacities less. Look at the, right now kids have a rate of 10 seconds, you know, they can concentrate. So I think all this is making us sick. But anyway, I don't want to keep you on any longer. Congratulations, you're doing a great job. Tell Shane hi. I hope he's back soon, and I'll go back to chat and enjoy the show.
All right, I appreciate you, Kyle. Thanks so much for calling in, man. Really appreciate you. Have a good night.
All right, brother. You too. Bye-bye.
Take care. Yeah, well, the man's got a fucking point. And I see you guys in chat. You guys know this. We all know this. We've all seen it. We've all gone through it. If you haven't and you've managed to not be susceptible to this feeling of dread and depression and anxiety, then more power to you. Please send me whatever the hell your regimen is, because I would love to try to follow that to get myself out of this shit. And it's honestly crazy to me how much we've been inundated by all of this. And it really sucks. It really does. And I hope that better days are coming, but not to be a pessimist, it just seems like they're just times are just increasingly getting worse, and just more and more shit is happening as more and more people are born, more and more people are dying. And we are now tuned into all of this shit as like a giant hive mind, because it's not like the old days where you had to come home and watch the news to find out what the hell was going on in the world. Now it's just at your fingertips. Everyone's connected. A perfect example is the troll post picture that I put on Twitter today. Hundreds of thousands of people saw this, me wearing ankle socks and Jordans and a hat in the Pentagon, and were so fucking triggered by it that they all needed to express their hatred. And I'm not going to stop throwing this up, because this is exactly what I see when I see shit like that. And I am the cat right now. I'm the cat that keeps popping in and just dancing in on your fucking tears, because seriously, grow the fuck up. Find other things to do with your time. Be more progressive. Find ways to support people that are out there trying to help the American taxpayer. Stop playing into these fucking narratives of it has to be Americans against Americans, Americans killing Americans over foreign policies. I mean, get your shit together. That's all I'm going to say. And I know it's hard. I know it's not every day that people can come together and support each other. That used to be the times of old. And now we are just so fucking polarized, more polarized, I think, than any time since the Civil War. And it doesn't look like there's a way out of it anytime soon, because it just seems to keep getting worse. So try to be good to people. You know, it's okay. I'm a dick too most of the time. I can be a complete asshole. You guys have seen it. But I'm not above holding the door for somebody, randomly posting a post on somebody's success or something that they've done, saying, hey, man, good for you. Congratulations. Because you can pass around those good feelings to people, even if just for a moment. And it only takes a second out of your fucking day. You know, realistically, I mean, some people call it being soft. Some people call it being a pussy. I call it being a human being. You don't have to be a dick all of the time. And that's all I'm going to say about that. let's get back on the phones. Let's go to the homie Synchrotron 9001. I want to see what this guy has to say. And I am counting the seconds it takes for your internet connection to allow you to join the show, sir. Roughly 9 seconds, but he's here. Synchro, what's up? Can you hear me? Synchro is having some mic issues. It's okay. We will overcome. I hear him working. So,
Hello?
hey, what's up, man?
Oh, you can hear me now. That was weird. I must have misclicked or something.
You did something because I just got a notification popped up on my side I've never even seen before saying that you're requesting to record your computer.
Well, it didn't work before, so then I pressed that button, and now I'm here, so I guess I did the right thing.
I'm just going to close this before I somehow hijack your machine and reveal all your secrets to the public. What's going on tonight, man?
So I wanted to talk about this new term that I've coined, and I think I've done some research on Grok on this just at the last second to get some stats, and I think I've got some good information to back it up.
Okay.
So I want to debunk the idea of predictive programming. Now, I kind of think it's close to that, but so Grok has given me some information that says that roughly only about 25 to 30% of Americans actually watch like more than one sci-fi movie a month. So like at least half of the country is not watching enough science fiction to fall under the predictive programming.
Don't count me into that. I'm watching that shit all the time. Some of my favorite stuff.
But you're an outlier. You know, you're a host of a paranormal show.
Yeah.
So you don't really count. But like, you know how many people watch reality TV and then they watch the crime dramas and the true crime. So like the percentage of Americans that watch science fiction on a regular basis is just not high enough to support predictive programming across the whole of the country. But what it does support is an idea that I have called predictive anti-programming. And I want to go back to the 80s to show what I think was one of the first examples of this in modern times. When Reagan started the Strategic Defense Initiative, SDI, and then the media started to call it Star Wars. Nobody believed it. As soon as the media started calling it Star Wars, everybody thought this is just a movie. This isn't true. Space lasers aren't true. And you fast forward today, and the concept of space lasers is still a conspiracy theory. You still find a lot of people who don't think that that exists.
Yeah. I mean, so you don't think that you think it's kind of like an inverse opposite now, even with artificial intelligence and, you know, being able to quickly kind of identify, you know, more of these patterns in people and stuff like that. I mean, I think as far as like predictions and things like that go, I mean, we've seen in movies a lot of the time, you know, like you're saying, stuff that's been put out there to kind of predict the future that's coming. Even if we think it, you know, like futuristic science fiction, hey, that's probably never going to happen, but it's cool to think about. And we've talked about this on the show before, where 5 to 7, maybe 8 years later, that shit actually happens. And we don't know that it's predictive so much as just maybe these guys have the inside track on what's coming. Right. And, you know, they're trying to program, like you said, or prepare people for this shit, or the exact opposite. This is their way of whistleblowing information that they're finding out. I mean, it's hard to know.
Well, like the neuralizer from Men in Black, apparently it started out as red, but then they changed the color to blue later. And like now Japan's actually working on this blue light thing that supposedly erases the memories out of snails or something. It's weird.
Yeah, the Japanese mind eraser. We talked about that on the show not that long ago.
But there's no way that's a coincidence. They had to have at least had the theory that was a possibility back in the 90s, if not actually had that stuff. But to continue in on the theme of the anti-programming, so my theory is they only need about 15 or 20% of the population to watch these movies frequently enough so that anytime there's a conversation, let's talk about AI, for example, and everybody's talking about how they think that AI is going to be bad, it's going to take over, it's going to be the end of humanity. In 100% of times when I see that, I see a comment section about that, there's somebody in the comment section that says, that's just the Terminator. You watch too many movies. That's just the plot of science fiction. AI is not going to be like that. And I think that's the purpose of putting that stuff into the movies. so that enough people see it, so that every time there's a conversation about it, there's at least one jerk in the crowd who says, that's not true. You just watch too many movies. And I've got a simple mathematical formula to explain this. You X too much Y, whereas X would be watch or read or however you interact with the media, and Y would be the format of the media, like movies, anime, books.
So you think it's a pattern of getting too much of one and not enough of the other?
No, I think it's I think I've got it. There was a link that I've got. I don't think I want to pull it up right now, but there was stories in the last year or two about social media companies running these experiments, and they called it inoculating against future propaganda. They called it pre-bunking. So the pre-bunking is a real term that they use. They're really doing experiments on this stuff, and it's almost the exact same thing as my theory. That they're let me pull this up and at least see where this was from.
So kind of an opposite of what I said, just an overload of both, like just too much of both.
I mean, I guess I don't think that they're trying to give us. Okay, so this was science.org and cam.ac.uk. The inoculation experiments. These are two major organizations that have put out stuff on this. I don't believe that the government is trying to give us the playbook on what they're planning to do to us. That doesn't make any sense. And like I said, not a large enough percentage of the population is actually watching these movies for it to change the minds of most people. They're purposely putting this stuff out ahead of time so that there's always one person in the conversation who says that's just a movie, that's just science fiction.
Interesting. So you don't think that you think that these are being released specifically just for that reason, that leaving no possibility that some of these directors or producers are trying to actually warn some of the people who are paying attention that this is coming in some way, shape, or form, or trying to capitalize off of getting this information early ahead of time, even though they know what's going on now?
Some of the directors might be putting it out for that purpose. I'm not counting that out entirely. But, you know, Hollywood is the American government's propaganda wing. So, and they check all these scripts, and it takes so long for the movie to get produced that I have trouble believing that the producers and the directors are actually getting this by the government, and they're not checking it out beforehand.
You know, honestly, it's interesting to me because it makes me wonder sometimes if some of these people just fucking had the idea right off the bat, didn't get it from anywhere, didn't find it anywhere, just accidentally had the idea of this shit. And when it actually reached the public, some of these guys up on top, whoever you want to call them, however you want to refer to them, because I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but who's them though? Whoever the fuck is in charge and is calling the shots on some of these things, whoever's researching this to pass that information along with these guys, just say, hey, check this crazy shit out. Let's put some money behind this and see if we can actually do it. You know, I think there's a possibility that some of the stuff that has come out has been just indirect correlation with things that they learned from watching movies, as opposed to having that information ahead of time put into a movie to kind of, like you said, predictively program people into knowing that it's coming, or being completely okay with it when it does happen and saying, oh yeah, this is just like that movie.
I've heard some people theorize that Hollywood's actually been mining the Akashic record, and that a lot of these directors are basically like low-key psychic, and they're pulling from the future or from the multiverse or whatever. And considering how much stuff I've seen that's come true, I kind of think that might actually be, there might be some veracity to that. Like the payphone scene from Terminator 2, like that's happening now. They've got there was some dude in a major corporation who got fired because he lost $250,000 of the company money because he got a phone call, and the phone call, the voice was his boss, and the boss says, transfer this money into this account, here's the number. So he does it, and it turns out that it was a deep fake, and it wasn't his boss at all, it was just AI.
You're referring to the scene where John Connor's stepmother has already been murdered and the T-1000 takes control of her, mimics her voice, and tries to call him and get him to come home.
Right, exactly. I actually think that's going to start happening to regular people like soon, that regular people are going to get a phone call and it's going to be like their mom, their dad, their son, their wife on the other end of the phone. And it's not going to be. And I think that that's going to start to become prevalent. And if that does become prevalent, like how long are people going to pay for their cell phone bill if they have to follow up in real life in person after every phone call they make sure that that was actually the other person and they heard it?
No, I completely agree. I think that's definitely coming. I kind of refer to it as the Mockingjay theory, where if you ever saw the Hunger Games, there's a part in, I believe, the second one where they had the Mockingjays programmed to repeat screams and cries from some of the contestants' loved ones in the game to kind of freak them out and make them think that these people had been taken hostage or that they were actually there being held somewhere in the arena and being used, for God knows what, or being tortured or what have you, to kind of instill this fear, this anguish into these people and kind of throw them off their focus, in the hopes that they get fucking killed off. Do you see this being, something that's just used as, by like telecommunications companies, people trying to contact you about your fucking car's extended warranty? Or is this going to be more like weaponized against people, tricking people into giving up their information, tricking people into leaving and going to places on a whim because they think that they're going to see somebody else and being met with something else entirely when they get there? I mean,
honestly, the scary part about that to me is the answer is yes, that there's a reason for foreign actors to do it. There's a reason for scammers to do it. There's a reason for AI might just do it. It might originally get programmed to do it out of malice. It might decide to do it on its own. There's a motive for just psychopaths to do this, just for kicks. There's a bunch. It is not looking good, in my opinion, for telecommunications in the next couple of years.
Yeah, dude. And in the years to come, it's even scarier, with AI, with the possibility of literally robots being able to kind of do this shit. All they have to do is just learn and mimic a voice pattern. We already know AI can do it. We've seen it through, Suno and AI music apps that are just instantly able to generate a voice and a beat and sing the lyrics that, you put a few lyrics in and it writes a whole goddamn song for you in about 2 minutes, That right there is kind of a precursor to this entire thing, where it's going to be possible just based off of you speaking for a few seconds or, entering in some text speech, them analyzing some of your posts and finding out what your interests are, the things that you like to talk about, and literally weaponizing that data against you.
Something that I looked this up a couple of weeks ago, and to me, this is crazy. So the first commercially available voice synthesizer chip was in a toy called the Speak and Spell. I don't know if you know what that is. I had one when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember those. It's crazy.
So if you fast forward to the 90s, around 93 was when the first commercially available gigabyte hard drives, you could get one, and it was like $1,000 for a 1 gigabyte hard drive. But if you tried to like digitize a CD, like a whole music album, like it would take you $1,000 and you could fit one album on that hard drive in 93. And now, a little over 30 years later, the computers are so advanced that they can make the music they can write it, they can do all the instruments. And in 30 years, it's gone from computers can barely even play back CD quality audio to it can make it itself, and way faster than people. If technology was a species and it was evolving this fast, we would all be in 100% panic mode. I think that AI and this technology is actually way worse than the nukes, because the nukes could never launch themselves. We had to do that. We had to build the nukes. We had to launch the nukes. And now they can just launch themselves. The AI can.
Yeah. And that really ties into like a Mission Impossible kind of scenario. With the last movie that they came out with, the Final Reckoning and everything like that, this AI just basically is like, it's got everything it needs to just wipe humans off the planet. We've seen it in a couple of different movies, but it basically starts taking over NORAD and things like that, and hijacking all of the countries across the world's nuclear capabilities. and with the intent of complete global annihilation. That's definitely one of the larger fears that I have. You know how much I hate this shit. I almost completely refuse to work with it. There have been a couple of times I've had to use it to kind of disseminate information or look through something quickly, and it is kind of useful for stuff like that. But my thing is, and I've said it a million times, you guys know this, the pros and the cons have always outweighed the pros for me. So I definitely think we're headed in a crazy direction with the possibilities this shit is going to afford, and it's scary to see what it's already doing. So I'm 100% with you, brother. I think it's a problem, and I don't know that we're going to be able to address it at this point because the cat's been out of the bag long enough to where I don't think it's going to go back in, you know?
Yeah, now it's like another nuclear arms race. So yeah, there's no way we can stop it because everybody's fallen into the same trap that we did in the Cold War. If we don't build it, they will. So now it's essentially building itself, even though it's still humans. We've fallen into that psychological trap. So there's no more guardrails. There's no more stops. We're going.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no stopping it now. That's really the terrifying part. But you got anything else you want to talk about or shout out, man?
I've been using Grok a lot lately for some of these theories. I kind of don't think that the average person needs to avoid it. Like, don't have it think for you and like do your work. But I don't think that interacting with it's accelerating it. You know, the government's putting trillions of dollars into this, so they're going to do it anyway. Back to the predictive anti-programming that I started with. I ran all this by Grok and had it do the statistical analysis of how many people watch it and ask it what percentage of the population would need to watch it for predictive programming to make sense. And I know a lot of people might disagree and say, well, Grok's wrong, but Grok agrees with me. It says that it doesn't matter. There's not enough people watching for predictive programming to work, but that you only need 1 or 2 people per conversation for the anti-programming thing to work, for somebody to say that's just a movie. You have a psychological problem because you believe that the movie's real.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, on the scale that we're on, it's not hard to understand that it's really because people are just so focused on other shit now. It used to be movies and TV shows were the only thing that was out there to watch, and the more kind of advertised it was, you know, the bigger stars that were in the movie, the more geared people were towards wanting to see it. You know, it turned into one of those things where, have you seen this movie? Have you seen this show? Holy shit! And I mean, we still have that sometimes, but it does seem a lot less common. Unless it's an absolute fucking blockbuster that the whole world is waiting for and talking about, that a lot of stuff just. We're at the point now where stuff goes into the theaters and it's out on digital in 2 weeks if it flops at the box office, you know? So that goes to show right there, it's not making enough money, you know, because it's not generating enough views. There's not enough interest in it. And the shit just immediately goes to video so that the people that are interested in it can buy, and they can suck that money out of them while they can and try to make back all the debt that they, you know, dumped into the CGI and shit on these movies and whatever else they were doing. Yeah, it's kind of a testament to what you're saying. Just people just don't watch the shit anymore.
Yeah, and the movie theaters are dying out. I think a big reason the movie theaters are dying out is because Gen Z does have the anxiety problems that they claim that they have, and nobody wants to go into the crowds of people. And concerts are dying too. Last year, Pink was like the number 3 concert ticket seller. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts. I didn't even know she was still doing music.
Yeah, she was behind Taylor Swift, Coldplay, and then Pink, of all people. I mean, her music's not awful, but Jesus, not to be number 3.
No, and I'm honestly surprised Coldplay is still in that list. I wonder if that had anything to do with the fucking kiss cam that went viral.
I don't know. I think it was before that.
Okay. that debunks my theory then on that one. Well, hey, brother, I appreciate you calling in. I was going to call it, but I think we're going to get another couple callers in. Kellen actually wants to join us, so I think I'm going to let him in the room here in just a minute. We'll hang out for a little bit longer with you guys, but I appreciate you calling in, man, and you know, give us a call back when you got some more to share, man. You've always got good shit. I love talking to you.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Have a good night.
See ya.
All right. Now I have to do the random unprofessional thing where I completely walk away during a live stream in front of hundreds of people to take off this insanely hot coat now. It is now really, really warm in here. And I'm going to let Kellen in here, and I think Kellen wants to hang out with us for a little bit. Kellen has been hanging out with me at the Pentagon all week, so we can get into this. We'll have Kellen on, and you guys can call in and talk to Kellen too. So hang tight 1 second. Watch me do some stupid shit. All right. Wherever you want, dude. I mean, you could take Shane's desk. Let me get you. I'll get you a heads up monitor here so you can kind of see what's going on. And let me see if I even have. I do. We have a scene. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kellen to the program. Kellen, what is up? You actually, yeah, you know what? How about now?
Yeah, there we go.
Hey.
What's going on? You're still alive, man. It's been a day.
It's been a long fucking week, man.
Yeah.
So this, I have to fix my camera view on this angle because this has not been adjusted for a while.
Well, thanks for having me. A little late jump into the program. You
gotta produce IRL. Kellen does a lot of work on the back end here and on the front end. Very, very involved, very talented guy. I love working with him. He's become a very good friend of mine here. You guys, a lot of you guys out there know him. Feel free to jump in the chat, say what's up.
Yeah, let me open the chat. Yeah, you killed it, man. I just want the viewers to know at home. I was watching passively to the show tonight, and with you talking to Kingsley, the press sec of the Pentagon, and you just went head first in the deep end with the UAP question. I mean, you killed it, so hats off to you. I definitely can't wait to ask more questions, especially about the magnetic dent in the Earth.
We did not get a chance to get to that. We were scheduled to talk to the Secretary of the Navy, and I wanted to get into some UAP stuff with him, get into how the magnetic field weakening is affecting satellites and equipment out there. And these guys control the Space Force. They're part of this. So we want to get into questions about that too. There's a lot of stuff that we can delve in. And we are dealing with a War Department that is referring to themselves as the most transparent War Department ever. So, and like you've seen today and the last couple of days being down there, they're almost happy to talk to us.
What I think they mean by transparent, though, is the UFOs are transparent. And that's why we haven't seen them yet. So no,
the most transparent.
I'm joking, but I know we were doing callers. I don't want to derail with. I know you are.
No, man. Take a minute. I was literally going to call the show early, and I had some people calling. And don't worry, guys, hang out. There's still a couple of you in there. I'm going to hang out, and we're going to get to you guys. I think we'll do the full 2 hours tonight. I've kind of gotten a second wind here, so I think fuck it. It's our 150th show. It's been a crazy day. Today is the 150th show, and I am in here celebrating alone.
That sucks.
But
I didn't realize.
I appreciate you coming to hang out. I know you've had a long day too. We got started 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning, and we are about to be rolling into the midnight hour here pretty soon on the East Coast.
Yeah, just about.
These have been no bullshit 18-hour days. Which is part of the reason Alex came in to cover for me last night. Shout out to Alex. She did an amazing job last night. I greatly appreciate her because that gave me some time to get a little bit of rest. Not much. I maybe got about 5 hours of sleep. Honestly, I think in the last 4 days, even after the drive back from Chicago, which over a course of 2 days was 18 hours of driving with the snowstorm and only 4 or 5 hours of sleep in there, I've maybe gotten 20 to 25 hours of sleep in the last week.
Well, you got to... take tomorrow. I mean, especially since today is the 150th episode. Get your sleep, man.
It's happening.
Yeah,
it is happening.
It's cold too, man. It's 25 degrees outside. I'm gonna crack the window open when I get home. I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
Yeah, I'm definitely on that. And I'm thinking about grabbing some beer on the way home and having a couple of drinks because it's been a long week. We did it. We were successful at the Pentagon, making our presence known. We did a lot of networking.
I will say one of my critiques of the Pentagon, because I know a lot of people are like, hey, you can't trust the institutions. One of my critiques of them is how long this took to really pull off. Because we actually started, myself and a couple other guys on the team, we started chatting with representatives at the Pentagon in July, like about, and this wasn't even about the new media thing or anything. It was just about, hey, we love Tim Cass. So let's see if we can do some kind of, let's see what we can do here. Is there anything we can do? Because we've done shows from Congress before. We've had various politicians on the show. So it's been like, this week is really just like the culmination of months of work. And it's the government, man. It's the bureaucracy. Everything moves so slow. And so that's why I'm glad that there's actually influencers in there, because influencers live in the world of here and now. They're not going to wait on news. They're going to press. So hopefully we actually get some, especially with the story that you opened with today. I was super stoked when I read this about the DNA and the RNA they discovered on the asteroid, or the building blocks. So hopefully we get some more information on that. And it does seem like a lot of the brass in there are a little nerdy, for lack of better words. So it seems like they'll entertain this stuff. And I honestly think it's more exciting than talking about Venezuela.
Yeah, which that a lot of the feedback I got on the troll post today was basically like, oh yeah, you guys can walk around in fucking sneakers, but no one's asking questions about Venezuela. Did you really get any information? I know there's probably some people out there like, what did you guys actually accomplish? This week was not about getting in there and finding out everything that there is to know. It was basically about getting in there. It was more of like an orientation for new media. And we got the chance to we got the chance to sit in some classified briefings that we're not allowed to talk about. We got the chance to sit in some unclassified briefings that we are allowed to talk about. And a lot of that stuff was actually put on the internet and is out there for people to see. And you can see some of the questions that were being asked by a lot of new media, and it was good shit. In my opinion, we're asking good questions. There's a lot of good talent that's in there. We interviewed a lot of different content creators and stuff today, influencers.
Do you do polls on the show when you guys are live?
I actually discovered that was a thing that I could do a couple weeks ago, and I did do one.
I would say, like, we should use our Discord, Timcast Discord, shout out if you're a member there. But we could also use the live chat as a poll, and in the future when these briefings become more, they start occurring regularly.
Have them post questions if they want to
questions or vote, or if you pose 2 questions, have them vote on the one. Because I think that's the beauty of like the internet space now is we have like a direct. This is an idea. It's not my original idea. I've heard this. Someone else brought this idea up in the Discord. But they're like, hey, can we ask questions and submit them to Elad to go, because he covers the White House, right? And so can we, the Discord, vote on a series of questions? And with your audience, I mean, I can only imagine like the different like angles and conspiracy and, cryptids, like all those angles are out there. And I kept telling Brandon this today. I was like, no one's going to be asking about UFOs, man. No one's going to be asking about the magnetic field weakening, right? This is stuff that I want answers to.
It's stuff that we definitely wanted to cover going into this. And when we got the lineup for some of the higher level officials that we were going to be able to speak to today, unfortunately, the Secretary of the Navy got called to the White House and he had to cancel. But he was the one I was going to ask a lot of these questions to, because it seemed like that was the guy to talk to. That was we had Hung Kao. Was supposed to be was there, but he was with other media outlets, and he would have been one of the guys to talk to, because I think he's in on a lot of the ships getting blown up and shit right now in Southcom, which is, it's crazy, a lot of the stuff that's going on. But we also heard a bit from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and
it was a busy day, man.
It was a crazy busy ass day. We're excited to go back and start really delving into this. I want to brainstorm some good shit. And yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think we should pull these guys out here. There's a lot of you guys out there have great fucking questions. You guys blow us away all the time with your phone calls and some of the stuff you guys ask. And who knows? Maybe you guys have questions that we haven't thought of, but we're happy to ask them. So I think that's a great idea. Maybe we're gonna have to do that in the future here. Take that stuff back to the Pentagon and get the people some answers.
Absolutely.
That is what we are here for. So, what do you say we jump on the phone? All things considered here, we got about 40 minutes or so to kill before we hit midnight. So, obviously, I know you're as tired as I am, so feel free to hang out as long as you want. You just want to get up and walk the fuck out, go home. I completely understand, because that's what I want to do as well. But I also love our fan base, and I wasn't here last night, and I was like a worried mother back home. I couldn't fall asleep. I got on, I'm like, I'm gonna hang out and see what the chat's doing, and then eventually just nulled myself to sleep. But let's go to Not Sure. And Steven and Don, I see you guys in there. Don't worry, we're gonna find a way to get to you guys here before we leave. Not Sure, if you could unmute your microphone, please.
Yes, I'm here.
What's up, man?
What's up? Oh man, yeah, it's been pretty crazy. You're hearing like a lot of the what the other callers have said already tonight, and I actually wanted to call. I'm gonna keep it like light for tonight because I got something for you guys tomorrow. If I'm able to get through tomorrow, for sure, that's gonna be a little bit more heavy. But for now, I'll just talk about like two different things real quick if I could.
Yeah, go for it, man. Floor is yours.
Okay, well, I remember when I called in the other night, but I didn't get through, right?
What night were you referring? Was this last night? I wasn't here.
I think it was either Monday or it had to be Monday. So Monday, yeah, it was Monday.
Oh no,
But,
it was. Yeah, I got you on the list here. Actually, you're right. It was Monday.
Yeah, there was a guy that called. Like I tried to get in right after he called because he said something that sparked something that I forgot to tell you about that movie. The last time I called about Airborne, you remember?
Oh, were you the one that called us that one night about that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that blew my fucking mind because that was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. And I actually got to thinking, you know that part when they're in the restaurant and they come in and they're fucking with them because he's hanging out with that dude's sister and he's talking about why don't we all just chill out and talk this out over a basket of fries. I'm now wondering if there were exactly 33 fries in that basket.
You said you counted that?
No. I'm wondering if there were 33 fries in that basket.
Oh,
because
I got you.
You pointed out 33 so many times in that movie. And like I told you during that call, I'm like, I thought this was just a fucking movie about rollerblading. Kellen, have you seen this movie? Do you know what movie we're talking about?
No, but I also don't know much about the 33 thing other than like it's a creepy number that keeps popping up, and
there's a lot of different things, but yeah.
Can you kind of sum it up for Kellen here really quick?
Give me the quick 30-second rundown.
Did you ask me to?
Yeah. Go fill him in a little bit on what the symbology behind this number is.
It sort of depends on the context, but most of the context is the same. But it just like once that's actually the second thing I was going to tell you tonight. So we'll get to that if that's okay, because I'll do that later, like in a little bit. But first, the reason why. So on Monday, the guy who called, and then I tried to call right after him, and I didn't get through because this would have been more relevant then. But he was telling you guys about the tsunamis or something like that in the Marshall Islands. Remember that? Yeah. Okay. And I remember how I was telling you at the end of that Airborne movie, the colors of what they were wearing, what it was representing of each different country and everything like that, remember? So I forgot to tell you what Mitchell's, the orange and blue. And now if you type in right now, anybody can do this. You type in what country's flag is orange and blue, and the first thing that's going to come up is Marshall Island.
You didn't. I remember you touching on the colors of the clothing in between what Mitchell was wearing and Seth Green, and that having to do with a correlation between, was it Israel and what was the other country?
Germany. Yeah, that's just what I'm getting from that. That's just what but why it was relevant, because that guy was talking about Marshall Islands, and specifically for some reason, when you specifically search that one, what I noticed is that there's something different that pops up when you scroll down, and when you usually pop up when you type in which colors is flags is whatever, and then it will show you like the countries as a list right there, and when you scroll down it might give you some more information or it might not. And every time I looked up other ones, it did not give you more information, but when you typed in the orange and blue and it gave you Marshall Islands, when you scroll down it says in proximity to Kiribati. Okay, have you heard of that?
I've heard of Kiribati, yeah.
Is that another island down there?
Island, yeah.
There's a guy, I don't know if you've ever had him on your show, the Flat Earth Dave guy, but he specifically talks about that the most and why that's important. But anyway, that was the first thing I wanted to talk to you. I just thought that was very weird and like coincidental that all these other people are talking about things that are linked to other things. That was the first thing I wanted to tell you about.
Because I'm probably the least knowledgeable in I don't want to say conspiracies, but for lack of better words, like the South Pacific, that part of the globe is just so uncharted still. Like, yes, we've mapped it, but it's, I mean, what do they say? We like barely know anything about the actual ocean on this planet. And so the South Pacific is just creepy in general.
It almost seems like the drug dealers know it better than the rest of us do now at this point, huh?
Well, no, you're thinking of, I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe, but like, I know, like, there's
You're talking
more,
way south.
I'm talking about east of Australia.
Okay.
What, like,
way
yeah.
south. Okay, down there, yeah.
And so, what's interesting too is like a lot of these ancient like lore from ancient civilizations like China or Japan have come out of the South Pacific. Like, I think the one theory I read was dragons were these giant sea monsters essentially. This is where the idea of a dragon came from. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, 'cause I probably am. But they were attacking vessels and shipping merchants in like 1,000 years ago. And it's just like these crazy monsters. And there's documentation that's well written about. And then you have places like, I mean, the Ring of Fire, you know, is over there. So the South Pacific, I mean, is full of mysteries that we're still struggling. I mean, the Mariana Trench is insane to me.
Yeah.
Insane to me.
Yeah, there's a lot behind the Marianas Trench too that goes into a lot of crazy
Yeah,
shit. That's a rabbit hole, if not lack of a better word.
And so, you know, it's just an interesting part of the globe. The same as like, you know, the ocean just in general. I mean, it's a whole alien world, you know?
Yeah, Shane thinks there's actually that is where aliens are. Is in the ocean, I believe.
Actually, you know, I think we talked about this today. I think, and let me know, caller, what you think about this. I actually think fungi are the aliens. Fungus, like, I don't think
like
it's
mushrooms and
like
shit.
mushrooms. I don't think they're natural to Earth. I think those are an alien organism.
They are known to like carry frequencies and shit like that.
They do all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
On top of that, they just we were talking. You guys talk about Chernobyl all the time. They're discovering this fungus that's growing in Chernobyl and eating the radiation. And there's this theory that you could build structures on Mars, on the moon, out of this fungus, or at least line the walls with this fungus, and it helps block radiation. And so people can just like live in the moon base and not worry about getting radiation sickness.
Well, also, like I had mentioned, because we were talking about this a little bit at the Pentagon earlier, how Chernobyl, and we talked about this on the show, if you guys have seen, some of the dogs in Chernobyl have turned blue. We have, I don't know if it was wolves or coyotes or something up there, have actually become immune to cancer. And we think in part because of their exposure to radiation and things like that over time. Their evolution has geared them towards being resistant to this type of thing.
Yep.
Making them way susceptible to cancers and shit like that. So I think that's crazy. Because who knows what we could learn from that, and the things that we could take from that in studies and stuff like that. But it's also kind of fucked up that like it's gotten to that point just based off of the mass amounts of destruction that were done to these areas with nuclear energy. So, I mean, you know, pros and cons, give and take, you know.
Well, I think I'm a very pro-nuclear. I mean, I think it's just, you know, Cold War, Russians, you know, I think that was more to blame than the nuclear technology itself. But yeah, I mean, like someone said cordyceps in chat, like the zombie fungus that literally makes like ants become zombies, and mushrooms are insane. And there's really like not another organism even close to the mushroom family. They're in a class of their own. So I don't know how we got onto this tangent, but I think
we were talking about aliens. We were talking about the ocean.
That's all right. Yeah. No, that was a lot. No, I won't go all. I don't want to get distracted, but I could see how people could think that, you know, the fungus stuff. I have heard that before, but the second thing, real quick, is I don't know if you want to talk about. Have you seen Silent Hill, right?
Not in a while, but yeah,
it's been a long ass time.
This is another one of the movies, man. I'm telling you, the numbers is like the 33 thing, and a couple other ones is like, I can quickly go through this if you would like. It's pretty light. It's not very, you know, but basically it's like, I don't know how I'm just noticing, but it's just like, okay, so up until the 33-second mark, obviously, is when the picture of like the video starts of the movie. You know what I'm saying? The actual picture, if it starts right there. there's a couple other things that besides the numbers, why this movie specifically ties into some other things. Is I haven't even fully even analyzed it, but I'm just kind of scratching the surface with you right now. Just like, so the movie comes in at 33 seconds. The mother's name is Rose, obviously, and the father's name, which I've just noticed recently, is Christopher. And then and so when at the beginning, the girl, she has the sleepwalking thing, goes to the waterfall or whatever, and it zooms in. It just happens to zoom in at the pit of the waterfall at 133. And then they finally catch her right before she falls at, if you pause it right at 3:03, which is 33, it's the father, the mother, and the daughter all hugging, and there's a giant cross in the background, right? And why I think this is where I'll start, where I think it gets more, it's because I figured out, like, her name is Rose, his name is Christopher. That's already Rose Christ right there, correct? And then it happens to be that the daughter's name is Sharon, which is 6 letters, and then her opposite twin, the evil, basically the other, whatever you want to call it, like the demon, or inverted, I guess you could say.
Nice.
is the other one is Alessa, and that's 6 letters, like three on both sides, you know what I'm saying, of the light and the dark, and it's just like, okay, but what I was going back to about the names, the Rose, Christ, and is like, I got Rosicrucian out of that, right? And because how this movie is, it ties in like that Christian stuff, like Christian cult stuff, you know what I'm saying? It ties it in there. But there's just like there's a ton of these 33s. I mean,
I have a
crazy.
question though, and like to kind of just drag this back to reality. Do you think, I mean, we all know Hollywood's degenerate and honestly anti-Christian. They've been that way for decades. Do you think this is just like a cheap writing ploy that they're doing? They're aware of the significance of that number, and they're just throwing it into these movies, especially creepier movies, just to mess with people?
I mean, it somehow, I don't know, maybe I'm 1 in 8 billion people that noticed this, I guess, or
Sure.
it wasn't meant to be noticed, or it was so obvious that nobody ever thought anybody would notice it. I don't know. I mean, you could look at it like 4 or 5 different ways, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's just like you guys keep dropping this number, and I'm like, what, 33? I'm like, oh, the Game of the Year nominee that everyone thinks is going to win the video game of the year is
well, I mean, and there's a lot more.
Expedition 33.
It's one of those things, like 42 is supposedly like the number that explains all of existence. You've seen a lot of that shit.
That's
I mean,
from,
like
what movie is that?
Well, it's like the other two main things.
Eternal
is like
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I'm
What was
sorry.
that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was trying to answer Kellen's question. It was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, right? You're thinking about
Maybe.
the Jim Carrey movie.
There's that one, and then there's the one where they're traveling through space. I forget what that one's called.
Yeah. But I digress. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man.
Sorry to cut you off.
But yeah, sorry. It was like the 33 thing. So Jesus Christ, died at 33. It was all like symbolic right there in that specific scene. They wanted to get that right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're right. It's just I don't know.
Is it fucked up that it's 11:33 right now on the East Coast?
It just changed.
Oh, wow.
It just changed.
Wow.
Bada boom. Nah, that clock is actually a little bit fast.
yeah.
I'm looking at news time, buddy. We got 33.
And it doesn't even stop there. So right after that, it was so after the 3:03 of the scene of them with the cross in the background. So at 3:11 is exactly when the revealing of the movie title starts, because it's like kind of a blend in, and if you right at 3:11 is when you can barely see the hill on the right side starts to come in. So it's like the revealing of the name is like 3 times 11 is 33, obviously, and it's like it's just crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's, like I said, was it for me to notice it out of 8 billion people, or was it? For Brandon was it for me to come here and tell Brandon that, hey, this movie has a bunch of 33s in it? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but
I think it's a mix. I think you're definitely picking on probably across all these movies that you've watched, and you notice this. I'm sure there are stuff that was intentional by the writers or directors. But
there's probably also shit he's picking up on that they didn't even know they put in there.
My biggest critique with like numerology is just like numbers are everywhere. They're in everything that we do, and if you look for meaning, you're gonna find it. It's not hard, and I think that's one of the biggest flaws to numerology, especially the people that really believe it, you know, and it's like you can just kind of apply meaning, and you see this stuff everywhere. So I guess I'm being the skeptic tonight, but I mean,
Attaboy.
I don't know if it's like, so here's my thing. It's like whether it's happening, I don't think it's happening on accident, right? So if you notice these things in movies over and over again, it's probably intentional. The question is why? Why are they putting them in these movies? And is it nefarious? Is it a joke? Are they messing with you? You know, and I guess that's the bigger question for me. You know, because I mean, with Silent Hill, like I'm obviously pretty young.
Yeah, the thing is,
Silent Hill
you're
came
right
out,
though. No,
Go
with
ahead.
Silent Hill, it's like it's such a, because it was such a public movie. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was pushed out there, but then like it died off, and it kind of became like that movie that you know what I'm saying? But it's the way with this specific movie, I think it definitely does have meaning, because the Silent Hill thing, I'm not sure if anybody can correct me, I'm not sure, but I think, wasn't the hill like where they crucified Jesus, wasn't it kind of a hill like that they did it on, Silent Hill? Like, it wasn't called Silent Hill. I'm saying, like, wasn't he up on a hill, or am I wrong about that?
Yeah, but there's hills everywhere, man. I mean, it's kind of
I
Yeah,
get
no,
it, but
it's generally
I'm just
too,
saying
like-
how they're trying to portray it in the movie is
Right.
like they're kind of framing it in this way that
right, which leads me to like my initial assumption. It's just like Hollywood's anti-Christian, and this is the shit they do. I mean, look at what's that weird cult festival they did that Alex Jones like exposed?
Oh, yeah.
a while back.
Shit.
I can't think of it. Something Grove, but
Bohemian Grove?
Bohemian Grove, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Shane talks about that a lot.
Do this weird shit all the time, you know, whether it's intentional, like part of more of like a cult kind of plan, or if it's just a practice. Because here's my example. There's a movie that just came out, Weapons, this year. We watched it when we were in Arizona. I actually thought it was a really good movie. It was funny. It was creepy. It was a perfect blend of everything. But there's this one scene where they show a house, and above the house appears, like in the fog above the house, is just like an AR-15. And they asked the director later, like a month after the movie came out, like, what is the meaning behind that? He's like, oh, there was no meaning. He's like, I just put it in there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let people...
That's what I mean, is sometimes shit's just kind of there, and people are like, oh, fuck, did you see that? And it's just like, you know, you talk to the guy behind it, and he's like, honestly, I didn't even know that was in there.
Yeah,
It just kind of happened.
Yeah, so, you know, I guess that, you know, I'm skeptical that it is more than just directors having fun, you know, and writers having fun.
I feel like
Unfortunately, at the
sometimes there are
expense of
people...
Christianity, right?
I do feel like sometimes there are people intentionally doing shit like this, specifically for the people that are looking for that pattern recognition in things. But also just to see how many people don't notice it, you know?
And that's what we do as humans, is we struggle. This is why we see faces in trees and in rocks and snow.
In wood paneling. Shout out to
paneling.
Not Face.
And this is what we do as humans. Our brain, it works extremely hard to make sense of everything, and patterns make sense. So, you know, it's almost, some people consider it a flaw in humanity, but this is what we do. You know, we try to make sense of everything we see and connect the dots and how they relate, so we have a better understanding of it.
Yeah, the last two I'll throw on there real quick just to wrap it up is at 1:32:33 is when the nurse peeks her head through the curtain to see basically the burned up the girl, you know. But right before that, she's talking about, it says that the darkness grew so much that it hurt those that even the innocents or whatever, even just the curious. And that's right when she looked in there, it was 1:32:33. And then the last one is at 1:33:33, which is when the demon finally tells Rose, she was like, we need to speak. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like...
Let me ask you, so what is just briefly, if you could explain this, what is the nefarious meaning behind 33? I know it's been tied to like the Masons and stuff, but what is the actual, like, what's the big deal with that number?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I can give you guys what the internet says.
Well,
Okay.
it's there. I mean, I didn't put it there, but it just happens to be there at all these specific moments, and it happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It comes down to that thing where it's like, how many coincidences is it take to not be a coincidence anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like how, yeah. And if it is on purpose, then it leads to other questions. So it's like, you know what I mean?
And it spans across various contexts. Numerology is considered a master number symbolizing spiritual growth, creativity, and personal development. Spiritually, it represents enlightenment, compassion, and the expansion of consciousness, which kind of seems like some, fucking weird, space shit to me. Culturally, it is often associated with wisdom and spiritual awakening, reflecting its importance in many belief systems. So that ties into the Christianity thing. As an angel number, 33 signifies a reminder that anything is possible and encourages focusing on self-development, finding one's purpose. Overall, the number 33 embodies a powerful energy related to personal and spiritual evolution.
You want me to fuck with you guys real quick?
Fuck away.
My birthday is 331.
He was only one number away from being 3311. Let's go. 311 coming through.
But I don't know. I don't know what that means, but whatever.
Coming original.
So my sense is
joke. There you go.
My sense is basically it means a lot of different things, and it's just a common number.
Sure.
No, yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, I just thought it, it was cool. Just it happens. But like I said, I got something different for you tomorrow. So, but I mean, if I can get through, but yeah, that's I just thought you guys might think that would, it's pretty cool. Maybe make you think differently about it, whatever, But
well,
cool, man.
I'll definitely next time I watch a movie of any sort and something crazy happens, I'll definitely look at the time.
Yeah,
to check this theory out.
Every time
now.
you see 33 on the timestamp, just pause it and just check the whole entire screen for some shit to be going on.
You're just going to be shaking your head and be like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Well, hey, brother, I appreciate you calling. If I can get some room or some time in for you tomorrow night, we'll go ahead and we'll bring you on and we'll see what else you got. But I do appreciate the call, and you have a wonderful night.
Yep. Thank you, man. See ya. Amazing.
What people will see, hear, and find.
I'm just reading the
everyday
chat.
shit.
I'm just reading the chat, and everyone's got a different answer for what it means. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and I can understand why. So, all right, we are rolling on. Let's keep rolling here because I want to get to our last two callers that we got in here. And one of them, of course, is going to be Stephen Wolf. Stephen, hang out. I want to save you for the end. I don't think Kellen has had the privilege of speaking. This is one of our Donald Trump impersonators.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who we heard, Lance, the guy I took the picture with earlier that has gone viral on the internet of us wearing sneakers and other bullshit in the Pentagon.
Lance's impression is probably in the top 5 of people
Lance
I've
is
heard.
pretty good. This guy's also pretty good. But I want to talk to Don. We're going to bring Don on. He's been waiting in here for a little bit. And then we will get to our presidential impersonator. Don, can you hear us?
Yeah, this is Lord Awesome Sauce right here.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah, so I just want to let you guys know, you clicked me on at 10:42. So 42, right?
42 was my baseball number when I won the World Series.
Isn't that Jackie Robinson's number?
It is. It's also apparently the meaning of life somehow. 42.
It is, yeah, from Hitchhiker's Guide, yeah.
Yep, Hitchhiker's Guide. Yes.
That's the one.
So 88 miles per hour, Marty. That's one of my magic numbers. Same with 42, but there's a few other magic numbers. So how the universe or God, if you want to look at it a different way, speaks to you, or maybe your angels, is they use things that are specific to you. So if I hold the number 42 to be like really significant, I will be pointed out to the number 42. I will see it repeatedly, or 88, whatever, yada yada.
I've been seeing it my entire life. That's my number too, is 42. So I feel you, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're both retarded, so that's great.
I couldn't agree more.
I would like to welcome Shia LaBeouf to the show here. He's going in disguise as Kellen.
Dude,
and
I loved you in Constantine, by the way.
I have to watch that.
It's amazing.
Isn't that the one where I forget the actor's name, but he made the choice for the devil to wear a white suit?
Oh, yeah, I can't remember his name either, but he's
Is that the right movie?
fucking awesome in that movie. Yeah, he wears the white suit as Lucifer.
It's Peter Stormare. Yeah.
And he walks out
And,
barefooted in the white
I think that was
suit
his
with
choice.
tar coming off of his feet. And
I think that was his choice, and the director loved it. Anyway, continue.
That was that was symbolic of Lucifer being
A fallen
an
angel. Yeah.
but
Mhm.
actually evil, right?
Yep.
So
Gabriel too. Gabriel was wearing white towards the end of that.
right, well, yeah, because they're angelic, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Brandon, you're doing a great job as Shane. I can't, you're not doing a great impression of him, but you know.
I appreciate that, brother. I mean, yeah, I would have to delve into some way stranger shit than I'm used to in order to really do a perfect Shane impression. But plus, I need to have sunglasses on, and I need to be much taller.
He is tall.
I mean, that would just be Stranger Things, wouldn't that? So let's go to a caller about maybe 4 or 5 calls ago. He was talking about CIA and movies. So I believe what he was trying to reference was how the CIA kind of has a revelation of the method. Okay.
You're talking about with the programming thing that Synchro was talking about?
Exactly. Yeah. The pre-programming. And so here's the thing. I don't know if everyone here or in the chat knows. The CIA actually has to approve every single movie script before it goes to film. They have to approve every single movie.
I don't know. If
So
that's true.
during
Let me ask,
Independence-
where do you get that statistic from? Is that public knowledge?
it's law.
What's the
Hang
law?
on,
Can we
let
pull
me
it up?
find this. I'm gonna look this up.
I mean, it's
The reason I'm hesitant because
So-
right now you're seeing like Angel Studios and Zachary Levi starting his own thing. You're seeing all these like actors that are rejecting the like wokeness of Hollywood, and they're creating their own studios. They're putting their own movies out. So I just find it hard to believe that this is the case.
Now you
So
said this for
there-
all movie scripts or just in general for some of these?
I think any major motion picture.
So what does that
like
mean? What is a
anything
major
from
motion
the
picture?
MPAA or anything like that. So, for instance, Angel Studios, right?
Holy shit, he's right.
Yeah.
Can you pull it up so I can see it?
This is just through. I gotta actually get to. I'd have to look up the actual law that this shows, but this does say, and I can't. I'm not gonna. Well, I can probably just pull the 3 here. We have an empty.
fine.
Ghost Shane is up at the top,
There you
guys.
go.
Say what's
Ghost
up.
Shane.
The answer shortly is yes. The CIA does need to approve all movie scripts. They review and approve scripts to ensure they align with their image and narrative control.
This is Bing AI, man.
Sure. All right. So what do you want me to put it in? You're the AI expert over here.
You talk. Let me look up.
All right, you do your work. Go ahead, brother. While we're waiting on, let me just throw this up here right now, Kellen. This is what I've been playing in regards to the people that are pissed off about the shoes at the Pentagon.
Okay. So, for instance, the movie Independence Day, right?
Yeah.
So the guys were like writing the script and they were approving it, and they just wanted like some background check. They wanted to make it like more like legitimate militarily speaking, right? And then they were talking about Area 51 and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden their script came back to them. Half of the damn script was blacked out.
Redacted,
And they're like,
yeah.
why did you black that out? And they're like, well, we can't reveal government secrets. They're like, we made this shit up.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see why that's in there. I mean, when you have these kind of reenactment movies, like the Bin Laden story that they remade, the Benghazi story, 13 Hours. What the hell was the Bin Laden one called? Zero Dark 30. These are based off of that narrative and characters that did actually exist, people that did work for the CIA. And there were documentaries released with some of these people in them where they do kind of confirm that stuff. But to me, it also gives them a chance to, like we just read, confirm that it's showing their narrative.
So I think you're partially right. I don't think you're totally right by saying they have to approve all movies.
I have to see the actual law somewhere.
I'm reading a press I don't even know what this document is, but it's on CIA.gov, and this article is entertainment industry guidelines, and it's, I guess the CIA has the right to go and approach projects and influence them, but I'm not seeing I just because they can do it, I'm not seeing any evidence of this being a widespread practice. But
go
ahead.
If you're referencing something like independent studios like Angel Studios,
Mm-hmm.
I still believe there could be beneficial agents that might have a sort of positive influence. Because right now, we are legitimately experiencing a silent coup, a silent war within the CIA and the FBI. Just like with Jesse Waters, how he was hit with people from the CIA, Trump positive people of the CIA, telling him hey, this is how this shit fucking works. This is psychological warfare, and this is how we do it. And then Jesse Waters explaining it to the listeners. And then there are other factions inside that are saying no, we don't do that. What are you talking about? Why would we be liars? All right, so let's keep jumping because I know we're on a limited time frame here.
Sure.
So with the movies, that's partially a revelation of the method. That's what they do in magic. Okay, so has anyone watched a recent episode of Stranger Things? Recent season?
No.
Yeah, I managed to catch the last the 4 episodes that they put out, barring the final one, which I think is supposed to come out on New Year's, if I'm not mistaken.
Perfect. So the bad guy in the film or in the show,
Vecna,
essentially kidnaps a little girl through a illusionary method, right? And then he says, I want you to help me. Just whatever you do, don't go into the woods.
Oh, Holly, yeah.
And then the next episode, or maybe the same as I don't fucking know.
Yeah, try not to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it, because I know there's people that are waiting for that one. But
he leaves in the mailbox a trail to go through the woods, and says please help me. This is just like in Indiana Jones with the Last Crusade. The character, the rich character in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the third movie, where Indiana gets the Templar's shield rubbing, and says hey, whatever you do, I'm gonna hook you up with this person over in Germany, whatever, or Italy, and whatever you do, don't trust anyone. And then he finally gets caught by the Nazis, and then he finds out that the hot girl Elsa is a Nazi, whatever, researcher. And he's just I can't believe I trusted you. And then the Donovan character says oh, I told you don't trust anyone. It literally is just it's a part of black magic where they have to warn you hey, yo, I'm gonna fuck you over, but I'm warning you I'm doing that type thing. So that's the revelation of the method with the movies, and partially to do with the CIA. I do believe there is an internal coup within the CIA. It's all subliminal. So I told Shane yesterday that I do sales. I worked in a retail sales location. They did some of there's a bland corporate playlist, and one of the main songs, it sounds happy. All the songs sound happy, but the choruses are horrible. One of the choruses of the song that I heard was just it was the worst day of my life. And it's just repeated on nonsense. So you're trying to get salespeople to be motivated, but subliminally you're playing music that says it's the worst day of my life. Like that's the chorus. Like that's how the system that's how they work it. It's a pop trendy song, sounds happy, but it's actually the worst lyrics, and then you get that lyric stuck inside your head, and then now all of a sudden you're a negative piece of garbage. All right. So let's go back to before we hit 33, we're actually going to go with 666. Okay.
All right, exact opposite
666.
satanic number.
666. They believe it's the mark of the beast. And, it kind of is true, but in a way is slightly misinterpreted. The 666 is related to the molecule or the atom of carbon. Okay? So look that up, carbon and 666. That's how that's linked. And what is this planet? We are carbon-based life forms on a carbon-based planet. That's what 666 is. Okay? You can go deeper. You can think it's evil as all you want. But let's go with 33. Okay? 33 is a Masonic number. There's the skull and bones number of 322. All right. And before we go into the 322 thing, all right, my name is Donald. My real name is Donald. And March 22nd, just type in March 22nd or 322 and Donald in any search engine. What does that give you?
An address for Donald Drive. Am I supposed to be separating? This is just brought up 322 Donald in Front Royal, Virginia. I'm sorry to whoever's house that is. You guys are probably going to get doxxed now.
It's National Donald Day.
22nd.
According to who, though, man?
President-elect.
I don't know. I
don't
don't know, dude. I was born in 1980, and my name was Donald, I think, before I was born.
According to CNN, the holiday calendar, it's National Donald Day.
Yeah, but like, okay, it's like a side note, man. Every year, it'll be a random day, and it'll be like, oh, it's
International
Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Yeah, I was gonna go with
That's
ice cream.
I'm like 2 months ago, it was just regular National Cookie Day. So I'm like, these people just make up holidays all the time.
Yeah,
it is weird though, with your coincidence, but. I mean,
get it. But like, it's almost like the universe is coming out screaming like, yeah, yo, like, dude, you are some special kind of fucking retarded. So back to the 666. All right. So we're talking about special numbers here, and we're gonna go with 33. Okay. Jesus started his mission at 30 or 31. He only had like 3 years, right? He died at 33, right? Special, symbolic. There are also 33 columns of your spinal column. There are 33 bones in your spinal column.
Right.
That's what the 33 is. That is the elevation. If you want to go into the chakras, you can go into that, whatever you want. But that is the turning lead into gold from the alchemical standpoint. Is you start out at the root base, the tailbone, and you go all the way up to the skull. That's the 33. The 33 are the spinal, and then once you reach the top, you become like essentially enlightened. Okay, and then we go. We were talking about timestamps, right? Crazy timestamps and things like that. So, the band or the main writer of Pink Floyd, he was super obsessed with time. And has anyone ever gotten high, did mushrooms, or do LSD? and synced up Wizard of Oz with Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
I've never had the inclination to pull that combination off. I'm a poet and don't even know it.
Yeah, but this is like a meme though. There's a joke like you just put Pink Floyd on any movie. Like How I Met Your Mother did the joke where they did I think Pink Floyd and Star Wars on mute.
When I was a kid in Boy Scouts, we took a bunch of Adderall and went on a submarine up in Michigan and watched the Yellow Submarine on it while playing poker for like 5 hours.
What does that mean?
Not a goddamn thing. It was just fun.
Exactly.
So that's just me, though.
All right, so let's jump to cordyceps real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, real quick, because I want to get to Steven before we get out of here.
The zombie apocalypse. Cordyceps is actually like a real mushroom, and some of it can do that. Certain strains, like certain strains of marijuana, right, do different things. Cordyceps actually can help brain function and increase brain cells with different combinations. 42 hitchhikers, 1133. It's angel numbers 311.
Let's go. It's like 3 times. It's my favorite band.
Exactly. All right, guys. That's it for tonight. Go on to the next caller. Have a good one.
All right, you too, Don. Thank you. All right, let's get to our last caller. I was going to call it there, but we only got one left. I want to bring him in. I promised I'd bring him in. It's our 150th episode. Like, share, subscribe to the show. Get that shit in there. Let's keep it rolling.
Seriously, and clip this on for social media, guys. Clip the show. Tag us. We'll share it when we see it. You know, organic sharing is the way. And a lot of these social media platforms, when you post a link, they suppress the reach. So if you guys are on X, you guys are on Instagram, clip a hot 1 minute, 2 minutes that you thought was interesting, thought was funny, post it, share it with us. That's like the best way you could help us, honestly.
Yeah, we'll throw that shit out there and retweet it and let everybody see you. Like what is happening to me and Lance right now with the shoes at the Pentagon. Maybe the best shoe picture at the Pentagon of all time. And in that regard, let's bring on presidential impersonator Stephen Wolf to close out the night for episode 150. Man, what a fucking day. Too much swearing, I'm out. Well, fuck yeah. Have a great fucking night. Fuck. Stephen Wolf. Can you hear me? He's unmuted. Maybe he fell asleep. Steven, are you there?
Damn, I was looking forward to hearing the Trump impression.
Well, it's entirely possible he comes back. We could kind of shoot the shit for another second here, just in case if he rolls back. If not, we'll call the show.
Start wrapping.
Yeah. So we got one more night tomorrow night. Hopefully Shane is back for that.
If only they made Bacardi 151 still.
What's that? Are we looking for? Is there a number correlation in 151 that we're getting at now?
Tomorrow's 151.
Is that what's going on?
As you said, today's 150.
Oh, so in reference to the episode number,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at the day.
I'm not talking about numerology. I'm just like, you should.
I'm like, tomorrow's 12:05.
You could celebrate with some Bacardi. That's all I was trying to get at. But,
nice. Okay. All right.
They don't make the 151 anymore. Or if they do, it's not for sale in America. I can't remember.
Yep. Stephen Wolf. We are attempting to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
You know, I will say the glass guy, Don, he had a lot of stuff. I wanted to let him like kind of get his point across. I don't know if he ever did or if he was just chatting.
No, and I seen similar things in the chat where it was just like, all right, you know.
There were things that I wanted
land the fucking plane.
There were things I wanted to push back, and I should have at the time because I can't even remember now.
Been a long day.
It has been a long day. Oh, man. And as soon as you come into this room, I mean, these lights are so bright. It doesn't look as bright.
Everyone bitches about how, well, not everybody. There's some people that know what we're doing and they're fine with it. I think honestly, I think it's pretty perfect the way that it came out visually.
But what I'm saying is,
but when you're in here, it's like being inside of a UFO. Like literally, it's like so bright in here.
It's like you're about to get surgery. It's white, bright medical lights, and it wakes you up. You know,
it does.
But yeah, it's been a hell of a day. That it has.
Yep. All right. Well, Steven, if you can hear us, we'll get to you tomorrow. Wanted to get you on with Kellen here, but you've lost yourself in the universe. So we will totally talk to you tomorrow. Just give us a call back. Thank you so much to all of our callers that called in tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Kellen Leeson for all of your help at the Pentagon this week, all of the help the entire time that I've been here.
Appreciate it.
You've been a pillar for me to lean on. I appreciate all the encouragement that you and Sean gave me today.
The thanks goes both ways, man. It really is a group effort, and you took it in stride today. If you guys haven't watched, go on Timcast News on X. You can see all of Brandon's interviews with influencers and members of the Pentagon.
You can see me getting my feet wet as a journalist,
He's a
which
natural.
I apparently became today about 12 hours ago.
He's a natural.
No prior experience, no reason to be there.
But I do think, I guess my final thoughts on today is a lot of the one thing that there's concern about is a lot of the people that joined the Pentagon Press Corps are not from the DC area. And that's only an issue because they're not going to be there that often. We have a really nice opportunity. I mean, we're in the mountains, but we can go to the Pentagon and come back in a day, right? It's a pain. It can be a pain in the ass, but it's doable. So we have a real opportunity to get down there and just be like, hey, so Mr. Pete Hegseth, tell us about those aliens, right? What are you really doing in space? When's the moon base coming? Right? All this crazy stuff. Obviously be a little bit more serious, but with the questions. But I'm excited, man. I really am. And today was chaos, but fun.
And it was absolutely, when I was asked to first start doing this show, I had absolutely no idea what I was getting into. I was excited about the possibilities that it could afford. I never thought in a million years, let alone just in a span of maybe this short 7 months since we jumped into the new format on Rumble, that I would be standing in the Pentagon asking high-level officials questions pertaining to this show. Tim asked me the other day when I came back, he goes, well, a year ago, if I would have asked you, or if I would have told you that you'd be a Pentagon correspondent in a year, what would you have said? And I would have called you a fucking liar right to your face. It was my actual quote to Tim. So it's crazy. We have made it 150 episodes, which is 100 episodes since I came onto this show.
Wow.
I started right around 51, but I was on for 47. Obviously, I've missed a couple shows, and Alex has filled in for me, so I haven't done a full 100 yet. But we're pretty damn close, and we are going to keep trudging on. We're going to keep going to the Pentagon every chance that we get, and we are going to keep trying to ask questions and try to get some damn transparency on some of the shit that we talk about on this show, because we have that capability now. So thank you to you. Thank you to Tim. Thank you to the Department of War. And the Pentagon, everybody there, for being so cool and accommodating to us. We're looking forward to working with them and, like I said, getting us some fucking answers. So, Mr. Kellen, real quick, tell them where they can find you on media, anything like that.
Follow all Timcast things. Follow me personally at Kellen PDL. I mostly lurk, but I'm usually in, I've got my finger on the pulse. But if you want to follow me on X, I'll post updates there. That's my main platform I'm active on. Give me a shout. Tag me in weird stories, weird shit. I'll always take a look at it, even if I don't reply. And yeah, I know this is, you guys have a weird hour, but it'd be cool to come back sometime.
Yeah, man. Anytime. It was great having you. Thank you guys again so much for hanging out on our 150th episode with me and Kellen here in the coffin. We appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe, share the show with everybody that you know. We will see you back here tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern for our final show of the week. Hopefully Shane's back for it. As always, you can find me at Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. We will see you then. Have a great night.